It has been 6 years since I got my pacemaker surgery. And over that time, I've had a lot of comments and questions from you guys, and also just including some of the work I've done with clients in these years that has led me to want to make another video that talks a little bit about some additional things that you can do during that 6-week post-op time frame where you still have all the restrictions. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But just to give everyone an update, still doing great, still doing my Olympic lifting, pull-ups, all the things. I don't have any issues, except that I'm getting older, and so I feel all those things more. I definitely don't do as much weight and as much repetitions and stuff as I used to, but it has nothing to do with the pacemaker. Just just getting older. So doing really well. Don't feel my pacemaker again most of the time. Sometimes when I'm on my side, laying on this left side, it gets a little like pinchy and I can feel it, but it's not painful. So one of the things that I always just make sure and do, which I'm pretty sure I talked about in the sleeping options after your pacemaker surgery, but just make sure that you sort of pull that scapula out a little bit, and then that'll open that up for you versus being like scrunched up on it. So that will be helpful. Seatbelts, I definitely sometimes feel the seatbelt, again, not painful, but just sort of like irritable. So I'll often, especially if I have something like a tank top on, I'll often kind of have to pull it over. And then sometimes it'll kind of shift, but I'll have to kind of pull it to the outside of my shoulder. I know you could easily just put like a washcloth or something, kind of tuck it in there, and you would probably be fine with that. And outside of that, again, I really don't have much trouble at all. Don't see mine very much. Scar has done really, really well. And I mean, really, I couldn't ask for anything better as far as how I feel and how I've progressed through everything. So all of that said, let's talk a little bit about some additional things that I think might be helpful for you guys. One is everything I showed last time was lying down. As far as some of like the shoulder flexion and abduction work, there's actually a lot you can do on your side, and for some people that's actually way more comfortable. So instead of doing your shoulder work through here, you can do it on your side. So it just changes where gravity is pushing down, and sometimes can make it way more comfortable. So you can work on doing your shoulder flexion and work through here. So again, I'm going to treat this as if I'm still in my initial phases, like when I made the first few videos I was. So just going up to your 90 degrees here, see if that is comfortable for you. And then abduction, same thing. Instead of being on the back and coming out to the side, you can be on your side and come out to the side. You'll get a little more strengthening through here as gravity's pushing down. Then it usually gets pretty easy here. Now, of course, when you are after the 6-week mark and you can start progressing your range of motion, you can really use gravity to help you go overhead. This is a great way to get a good stretch there. Now, a good strengthening one while you're here is to do a reach. So we're getting some good scapular mobility here. So reaching, letting that scapula really move. This is one you could do 10 or so reps, take a break, do another 10. Real important for the scapula to stay mobile right after surgery of any sort in regards to the shoulder or surrounding areas. Now, another one would be a really simple twist here. Just taking the palm up. So this is going into external rotation. We talked about it last time on your back as far as coming this way. So you can start here. You can take it to the next level, which would be coming here up to here. You can put a pillow underneath if you need to give you some support here. Again, keeping her somewhere around 10 repetitions. For some of you guys that follow me when I talk about corrective work, it's oftentimes more about the the movement than it is the repetition. So with something like this, if you're really trying to work through and get some good strength here, I don't want you to just go until you feel like you're done and stop. Like, I want you to go to the end point. You're going to take a break, breathe, and then you'll try to reach a little bit more. Take a break, breathe, try to reach a little bit more, and you're going to try to go, and you'll find that point where you're like, okay, I can't go anymore. Then you're done. That repetition might take you a solid 30 seconds just to get one repetition. If you choose to do it that way, which I think is ideal, then you're only going to do like 1 or 2 reps. I don't expect you to do 10 of a repetition that way, because those muscles are under strain or stress for a prolonged period of time if you're holding it that whole way through. So it's becoming really corrective when you do it that way. So adjust as needed with any of those. Now I want to talk a little bit about some additional standing exercises that are going to be really good for the biceps, which also will start to get a little bit tight. All right, for the biceps, you're going to take, I have a PVC pipe here, but obviously you could use a broomstick or a cane or anything like that. And then you're going to grip it where your palms are facing up. And we are just going to come back behind. You can use the good arm to assist. This is not going to go very high when you're in that first 6 weeks. This is going to be really tough for you. So you might find just getting your hand back here is tough. But of course, as you get more mobility, and you don't have any restrictions here, so you can go as high as you possibly can. You're just going to have restrictions just because of the surgery and the healing process. But if you can get yourself all the way to around 90 degrees, that's actually what you're looking to do. Same thing here. You can do up to 10 reps, or you can just take it slow and then pause, breathe, reach, pause, breathe, reach, and then just keep going until you can't go anymore. Another really simple one that you'll see a lot after any type of post-shoulder surgery is the pendulum. So this one is just leaning over and letting the arms be heavy. You can add a weight to this. Again, you'll stay within your post-op restrictions. So I would recommend something like 3 to 5 pounds, of course, just whatever's comfortable though. And letting the arm swing. And you can do both at the same time if you want, but you're trying to let the arm be as loose as possible. This is not a rigid arm swing. It's letting the tension go, like you have an elephant trunk. So you can do circles. You can even use your body to let it swing. So like, 10, 15 one way, 10, 15 the other way. You can do some forward back here too, just letting it relax and hang. This can give you a lot of relief just if you're holding tension there. If you are in a sling, this would be wonderful just because there's not any movement when you're in the sling. So letting it hang and be nice and comfortable and relaxed will just help to get some good blood flow to the area too. So I would recommend that really throughout the day, if that's one that you could do a lot if you need to. And lastly, this one I think is extremely important for functioning as you're getting close to being able to take that arm above 90 degrees. So working into being able to get behind the head, because obviously at some point the ladies need to be able to pull their hair back, fix their hair, all of those things. So being able to get the arm there. So taking the arm up, you can do this sitting like I am, or you could do it lying down if it's more comfortable. You could even do this on your side. But starting to work into getting the arm kind of behind the neck and working into what eventually is going to be able to be all the way up here. Getting to this position initially, you're probably going to be more here just because usually that's going to put more of a stretch. So if you need to sort of start in front, and then you could even work on stretching kind of back, kind of make some circles would be really good here. And then get to the point where you're able to try to keep it out a little bit, because that's where you'll need to be eventually. So working through that. And then of course, After the 6-week mark, you can work on interlocking your hands behind your head to hold it there. And then doing a butterfly stretch is great for the pecs. I think you'll really like this one to get all that opened up. Again, you can do this sitting, standing, or lying down if you have a preference. But important to start working on that particular movement because that's extremely functional.